Okay guys, this video is going to look at the tangent function. So in the last video, we learned that in order to relate the trig ratios to the coordinates on the Cartesian plane, we learned that the sine of theta is equal to the y coordinate and the cos of theta is equal to x when we're dealing with a unit circle. So now, applying what we know about tan, well, we know that the tan of theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So the opposite in this case would be the value of y, and the adjacent would be the value of x. If we look at this another way, if we fill in what we know about sine and cos and y and x, we get the trig identity that the tan of theta is always equal to the sine of theta over the cos of theta. With this identity, we obviously can't have cos of theta equal to 0, although it is sometimes. So we say that when cos of theta is 0, tan of theta is undefined. Okay, so there's no value for tan theta when we have cos theta equal to 0. So we'll just take a look at a few exact values of tan in the same way we looked at sine and cos. So if we look at the tan of 0, that's going to be equal to the value of y over x, so that would be 0 over 1, or just 0. If we look at 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians, we get that the tan of theta is y over x, which is 1 over 0. But we know we can't have that, okay? That's no good. We can't divide by 0. So the tan of pi over 2 radians is undefined. If we look at 180 degrees, we get tan of 180 is equal to 0 over negative 1, or just 0 again. And 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2 radians, we get, again, negative 1 over 0, no good. So in this case, tan is undefined. If we go now back to 360 degrees, we can see we've completed our whole circle, so the tan of 360 degrees is going to be 0. So you'll notice that, hopefully, that here we've got tan of theta is undefined. So tan theta is undefined for pi over 2 radians, 3 pi over 2 radians, and so on every 180 degrees, or every pi radian. So that means the next one would be 5 pi over 2 radians is where it's undefined, and 7 pi over 2, and so on. Okay, so that's a really important thing to remember. Okay, so we'll just look at a few questions here without using a calculator. What are the values of? So tan of 540 degrees, that's the same as saying tan of 360 degrees plus 180 degrees. And we know that because tan is periodic, it repeats itself, that's just equal to the tan of 180 degrees, or 0. So in this second example here, we have tan of negative pi over 2 radians. So just to draw a picture, remember when we have a negative angle, that means we're going clockwise from the positive x-axis. So that's exactly the same angle as this angle here, which is 3 pi over 2. So that's going to be the same as tan of 3 pi over 2 radians, which we know from our chart before is actually undefined. Okay, because the value of x, or cos theta, at this point is 0. Okay, so that's it for this section. You can now try some questions from exercise 6C.